In this video, we're going to be ranking every single train from worst to best so you guys know what to spend your hard-earned bonds on. So if you guys enjoyed this video or this video helped you out, make sure to like, button, subscribe, comment below what your favorite train to use is in Dead Rails. Let's get right to the video. Now, coming to 7th place as the worst train in Dead Rails is going to be the Gold Rush train. Now, in case you guys aren't familiar with this train because you probably have never seen it because it is a big fat waste of bonds, it is literally just the normal train, but it is a pea gold color. So if you like pea gold, then you might want to buy this, but keep in mind, this train is really expensive. All the trains in this game are really expensive to buy. And this train is literally just the normal default train, but it's pea colored gold. Like, it's not even like a light gold color. It is literally pea gold. It is straight up pea gold. I would rather have a silver one. I think it would be funny if the devs added a silver one. I think that would actually be pretty funny. But yeah, Gold Rush, like I was saying, it's literally just a default train. It has all the things to do with the default train. It can block bullets on the sides of it. Obviously, because it's metal, the back isn't covered at all. It's just the normal train, but it's gold. The coming to 6th place is going to be the default train. Now, the default train is the train you obviously start off with. You all know what this bad boy is. This nice and shiny beauty right here. And guys, obviously, I'm going to be honest here. The default train is not bad. You guys should not feel pressured into buying a different train just because there's more in the game. I feel like the new trains were added as a way to, like, sort of... There are people with a lot of wins in this game. Like, I haven't even played it all that much. I play it quite a lot. But I have 33 wins on this account, and I have, like, 20 on my other account. And at a point, you have nothing to spend your bonds on after, like, doing these runs. So you actually just straight up stop collecting bonds. And it makes the game a little bit boring when you don't actually collect bonds. So I think that's one of the main reasons why the trains are just so expensive. Is because you don't actually need to buy any of the trains. Obviously, guys, with the introduction of the 3 new trains to the game, there is a pretty big difference between using a train class and not using one now. Like, 2 of the new trains are honestly, like, so good to the point where they could be, like, a train and a class together. That's how good 2 of the new trains are. But if I'm being honest with you, if you are alone, you should probably take this train over the armored one, if I'm being honest with you. Because obviously, guys, it's open. It's completely open, so you have to worry about getting caught on anything. It's easy to sheet metal this train up. It's not difficult to do whatsoever. It can block bullets. Like, 99% of the time, you probably won't die to an outlaw unless you're, like, low HP. It's a pretty good train, even though it is the default train. I do hope they give it, like, a remodel and maybe keep the Gold Rush as, like, a legacy skin. I think that would be quite cool because comparing this to some of the newer trains, it does look quite bad. But in case you guys if you guys care about visuals, then I guess you guys will see some of the trains later on. But I do think the default train, it's a very solid train, guys. Don't feel pressured into buying one of the newer ones. Alright, guys, so coming in 5th place is going to be the Cattle Cart. Now, the Cattle Cart, in my opinion, I do think it is quite a good train. It also isn't that expensive to buy. So if you're using a class like Egg Slinger or Vampire and you play with friends, I would definitely recommend grabbing this if you don't have enough bonds to grab some of the other trains in the game. Because, trust me, guys, it will make quite a big difference because with Vampire, obviously, you don't get hit by sunlight if you're in the Cattle Cart. And with Egg Slinger, if you stand in the back while your friend is driving the train, the eggs will actually get caught inside of the train and make Egg Slinger not an absolute pain to actually play. Now, other than those 2 classes, I think this train, like, it affects gameplay very minimally, if I'm being honest with you. Most of your game will be the exact same. You can still be shot through the walls by outlaws, so you can't really hide from them or anything like that. And zombies can still get in here pretty easily unless you board up literally everything. You have to board up this one, this one, this one. It's probably just better to just do the normal strat of sheet metal, sheet metal, sheet metal on the back right here, which is pretty much just the default train. So in my opinion, Cattle Cart, I think it's really good with like 2 of the classes in the game. I think it's absolutely amazing for them, even though one of the new trains is actually just strictly a better version of this train, as you guys will see here in a second. But I do think the Cattle Cart, it has its use. It's an okay trade for building as well because, like, it's unique and all of that. But I definitely think with the introduction of the new trains, it kind of just doesn't really hit the same. Now, coming to 4th place is going to be the new passenger train. Now, first of all, I just want to say this, guys. This train is an absolute beauty. It looks nice and cozy. It's a really, really, really good-looking train. I'm going to be honest with you. Like, the models is definitely way better, and it actually does have a lot of functionality as a train you might want to actually use. Now, obviously, guys, some of the newer trains, other than this one, actually have some benefits to it. Like, one comes with the ballista and it's faster, and the other one can reanimate enemies. Like, this can't really compare to that. But if you're playing with a large amount of people, like I would say like 10 people, even though you can't sit in the seats, I'm being dead serious when I say this. This metal right here blocks bullets. Now, if you guys play with a lot of people, you'll know what I'm saying when I say, typically when you go by outlaws, at least one person will usually die. So you usually end up killing them. But with this train, pretty much this entirety of the train actually blocks bullets. So you probably will not have anyone die when you go past outlaws just by them standing in this area. They'll also be a lot less likely to fall off because these trains will block them. And obviously, guys, zombies and other enemies can actually get stuck on these seats. Even werewolves can, like, be less of an issue. So while I think it isn't immediately obvious that this train is actually, like, useful gameplay-wise, I definitely think this train has a lot of advantages over the default train and the cattle cart. I would honestly, like, in my opinion, and some people may agree with this, some people may not agree with this, I think this train is pretty much an armored train that doesn't have turrets on it. That's how I view it. So if you guys want an armored train that isn't actually like slower in acceleration and deceleration, I would recommend grabbing this train instead of the armored one because it blocks bullets, it does everything the armored train does, but it doesn't come with turrets. And if you're playing alone, that's irrelevant anyways because the turrets are really only useful if you're playing with a teammate. It's hard to use them because they're on the side of the train. It's hard to use them and not get attacked at the same time. But I will be honest with you guys, I really like this train. I think it's great. I'm probably not going to use it all that much because I don't play with massive amounts of people. But I would assume around 25% of the player base actually plays in like squads of 10 pretty much 24/7, and this is the train that you guys should be using for those massive squads. It's a really good train, guys. I wouldn't sleep on it at all, and if I'm being dead honest with you, I wouldn't be surprised if you see a lot of YouTubers maining this train specifically, because even though some of the other trains are objectively better, this train is honestly kind of better for YouTube videos, if I'm being dead serious with you, because it doesn't affect gameplay at all. It just looks a lot better. It's easy to build on, and you can do some absolutely wacky stuff with this train. But yeah, in summary, this train, it's easy to store a lot of people in. Zombies and enemies get stuck on the seats so that you won't actually be able to get attacked half the time. And if you properly block this up, it could be really hard for enemies to get into this as well, because they'll get stuck underneath this. So all you guys really need to do is block these doors and block those doors, and you pretty much got an armored tank. And it's a really cool looking train, obviously, as well. If you care about visuals, it's the best looking train in the game. Alright guys, so coming in third place is going to be the armored train. Now, for the next few trains, I plan on showing you guys them in combat situations, because I feel like that's kind of what they excel at, is because they're meant for combat. That's the whole point of these three next trains. They're kind of just meant for combat. Other than the wooden one, I'll say, the wooden one actually has a lot of use outside of combat as well, which is like why you guys will see the point I'm going to make a little bit later in the video. But as you guys can see, even as a solo player, the turrets and the ammo you get at the start of the game will actually allow you to basically full clear your first town, as long as your aim isn't absolutely abysmal. So having a guaranteed first town clear off of a train is obviously a really nice bonus. The wooden train also has the same thing, as I'll show you guys here in a second. And if I'm being honest with you guys, I would recommend not using this train unless you have teammates. I think this train is absolute buns if you're not playing in a team. I think it's a terrible, terrible solo train. It has slower acceleration and deceleration, but I do think in teams, this train is really good as well. And obviously, guys, it's hard for outlaws to hit you because it's blockaded right here and right here. So outlaws cannot shoot from that angle towards you. And it's just it's a solid train, guys. I know there's going to be a lot of people that are upset because of the new trains that released that are just strictly better than the armored train. But I would not, like, say the armored train is just outclassed in every capacity. None of the new trains have, like, this design of train. They also don't spawn with turrets, even though one does spawn with the ballista. And I do think that armored train overall, I think it keeps what makes the armored train unique. But like I said, I think some of the new trains, guys, if you haven't bought a train yet and you're using this video as a guide to buy trains, I'm going to be honest with you guys, I don't think you guys should probably ever buy this train. And I'm being real when I say that, and I'm not trying to be fake or anything like that. I think it's important to speak the truth. I think this train is fine. I think it's a good train. I think that if you have already bought it, it's an alright train. You'll be able to use it with your friends and have a lot of fun. But if you have not bought this train yet, guys, do not buy it. Like, I'm trying to put this in a way where the people that already bought the train aren't going to get mad, but the facts is that the ghost train and the wooden train are just better. They are better at different things. And the passenger train is kind of like a better armored train. I know that's going to seem like a little weird when I say that, considering it's ranked lower. But I do think the fact you spawn with turrets on the armored train does make it better in general. But if you're looking for just an armored train where you won't get shot constantly and you want to have teammates, I would grab the passenger train. But if you want turrets, obviously, guys, this train's the choice. Don't get mad at my opinion, by the way. Obviously, everyone has different opinions. I just feel like the armored train, it's still a good train. It's just not good enough for the price, if that makes sense. Now, coming in second place is going to be the wooden train. And look at this beauty right here, guys. This train, I really like how this train looks, personally. I think it looks like a raft, which is hilarious to me. I think it looks like a raft with wheels. I don't know why. I find that funny. I think it's extremely funny. I like how the train looks a lot. And obviously, it does come with the ballista. But that's not the main reason why this train is just so dang good. Now, in this server, it does not have the buff. But this train actually got shadow buffed, in case you guys are wondering. It got shadow buffed. So if you guys have seen any of the videos where this train had a decreased fuel capacity, that got removed. This train now has a normal fuel capacity. So it is literally just a faster train that has a ballista on it. The only downside is that outlaws, you're going to get shot by them and they're going to hit you. Guaranteed, guys. Until you get sheet metal, which should be one of your primary concerns, or any type of metal in the entire game, even ironclad zombies, find some sort of metal to shield you if you're going to be using this train. Now, in my opinion, I actually think this train is the best train in the game. And I'm sure you guys are going to be asking the reason why isn't this number one if I think it's the best. It's because I think this train is significantly harder to use for the average player than the train in first place. I think the first train has its obvious, use. It has no downside whatsoever, and you will always get use out of it. You will always get use out of this one, but sometimes this train will actually kill you because outlaws will shoot you in the head. That's the main reason why it's in second place. I think if you play this game religiously and all the time, this train is going to be your go-to. But if you don't do that, you're probably going to be using number one instead. Now, before I get to the combat situation, like I told you guys I would show with these new ones, this train goes 100 miles per hour if you use conductor. Do you realize how ridiculous that is? The default speed with no conductor and no fast train, it is, I think it's 55, if I'm not mistaken. It is almost double with this train and conductor. You go through the game twice as fast. Now, obviously, guys, getting through the game faster, that's a pretty big bonus. It's a pretty big deal to get through the game faster, but that's not even the reason why I think it is so good. You need way less fuel with this train and conductor. You literally need half the fuel to get to the end of the game. And it is actually quite a big deal at the early game to spend your money on fuel, because you'll be losing out on ammo and guns you could have had otherwise when you have to be spending it on fuel. You can refuel this thing with only zombie bodies and be fine throughout the entirety of the game. You literally never need coal. That's how good this train is because of the speed alone. And obviously, guys, like I said, you get through the game faster. That's always a bonus as well. This train has another upside. It comes with a freaking ballista. And if you guys don't realize how ridiculous that is, the ballista is a unique weapon that you can only normally get from the castle. Not the castle, the prison. That's the only way to normally get this weapon, and you get it for free on the wooden cart. I actually think if this was removed from the cart, devs, please don't remove this from the cart. Please don't do that. But even if it was removed from the cart, this cart would still be extremely good for the speed alone. But the fact you spawn with the ballista, and it is movable, by the way. It is not locked in place. You can move it wherever you want. I think that is such a big deal that it makes this tank arguably better than the number one tank from the ballista alone. Now, like I said, you can actually weld this and move it around to wherever you want. I don't know. I think the ballista is a great addition to this train. It makes sense as well because I think this train is inspired by the prison, obviously. But if I'm being dead honest with you guys, I think that this train is insanely good, guys. Don't sleep on this train whatsoever just because I'm saying it's in second place. If you want a train like this, but you're kind of contemplating, oh, I don't know if I should spend, and you're contemplating, oh, I don't know if I should spend that many bonds on this train. Just buy it, guys. You won't regret it. This train's insanely fun. It's insanely good. And personally, this will be the train I use all the time. Coming in first place as the best overall train in the game is the Ghost Train. As a lot of you guys have probably expected, honestly. I think the wooden train, especially with the shadow buff, is arguably number one, like I said in the previous ranking. But this train, guys, it's so easy to use. There's no downsides whatsoever. It is only upsides with this train. Now, like I said, I'm going to show you guys this in combat, and I'm going to talk more about it then, because it doesn't really make much sense to talk about it right now. But in case you guys don't know what this train does, it revives any enemy nearby for a very short period of time, but it still revives them when you kill them near your train. And guys, I noticed this when I was recording for the horses in my update. The range that you could revive enemies from is very generous with this train. It is a very far range. All right, guys, it's time to show you guys just how good this train actually is in combat. So as you guys can see, that zombie right there is absolutely pummeling me. I don't like that. There's an exploding zombie right there. Wait. When it explodes, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Dude, I just got so many enemies revived from that. Also, don't go near that explosion, by the way. Never go near that explosion. And by the way, it does actually revive every single enemy. Every enemy type gets revived by this. So all you guys have to do is just drag them into your train after you revive. Just get them chained reviving. Get them chained reviving over and over again. Look at this. Look at this. Revive. Revive my friends. Revive my friends. Look at this. Oh my gosh, there's an exploding zombie. Don't go near that. Don't kill my friends, please. Is it gonna kill everybody? No, it's not. And look at the range it revives. It revives from all the way over here. Like, do you guys realize how ridiculous this train is? There is literally zero downside to it. It's still reviving them. What? Wait, what? All right. That's very interesting right there. And I'm assuming they do actually have to die nearby to your train. This guy is stuck right there. I'm assuming it's because he got revived. I think they do have to die near your train to get revived. Yes. Okay. You can't drag them to it. So all you guys have to do is just keep baiting them near your train, and they'll be able to tank bullets for you. Now, unfortunately, this is not the best showing of it, because if I'm being honest with you, this was a really hard first town. There were a lot of enemies here compared to normal. But as you guys can see, I'm still not struggling, even with the amount of enemies that would normally overwhelm you, and the town is pretty much full cleared by now. Let's see if this guy is close enough. I'm assuming he's not close enough. I think right here is the range they get revived from. It's right about here. But this train is absolutely ridiculous, guys. There's zero downside to it. You just get free reanimated enemies. They don't last forever. As you guys can see, they are actually disappearing after a while. But guys, this train is so insanely good, man. It is such a good train. If you haven't bought a train yet and you don't if you're not the best at the game, I definitely recommend grabbing the Ghost train if you haven't, because it's just one of those trains that you'll get used to playing the game normally, but you also get that bonus of pretty much never being able to die while you're beside your train. Also, it does glow at night, which is quite nice as well. Like you guys can see, it does glow green. It has a nice neon green glow, and it does obviously look very cool as well. But yeah, Ghost Train, guys, obviously it's #1. Wooden Train is arguably #1 as well. I think they both are great at their certain things. It's just that this train has no downside. It's insanely easy to use the ability of it. It's literally just like a class on its own. It is literally just, that is how strong it is. It is a class on its own. Anyways, guys, that's me for this video. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to like, subscribe, comment below what your favorite train and Dead Rails is. Hope to see you next one. Peace out.